Hey everybody, welcome to week 7 of class. This week we have a number of different topics that we are going to be assessing, including content on slavery, something known as the Missouri Compromise, which has very much to do with slavery and its westward expansion. And indeed, this Missouri Compromise is going to be incredibly important. It's something you're going to want to remember, because it's going to come up time and time again as we draw near towards the Civil War. So we're taking a look at some issues of slavery. We're also going to be looking at a period of history known as the Era of Good Feelings, which is a term that really isn't very fitting for the United States at this time, because there was a number of social and economic turbulences, including an economic panic in 1819 and concerns and issues over federalism and, of course, slavery, as aforementioned, that really sort of demonstrate that this wasn't an era of good feelings. But post-War of 1812, the United States is highly nationalistic, very patriotic, and there's this sort of spirit of peace, if you will, that pervades the United States, and it's been monikered the Era of Good Feelings. And during this time, the United States is going to issue one of its most forceful pieces of foreign policy, known as the Monroe Doctrine, and this is incredibly important too. So a host of different topics we'll be looking at this week that will end up on your midterm exam. And with that stated, let me go ahead and give you a breakdown. Your midterm exam is 80 multiple choice questions, 2 points per question. There is no time limit on the exam, but once you start the exam, you must complete it in one sitting. Should you encounter a technological problem early on in the week, I can definitely help you with that, although I will tell you that I reset tests only one time per student. So for example, if you start the test on Wednesday and you encounter a technological problem, and anytime a tech problem happens, your test will submit to Blackboard and you will not be able to take the test any longer. But if you encounter a technological problem early on, contact me. I will reset it for you. If you happen to have another technological problem, unfortunately, I will not be resetting the test, because you would have had an opportunity to look at it twice. Okay? But I am willing to work with you. Now, that stated, if you take the test very late in the week, say Sunday at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, generally, I'm not checking my email until the next morning, and so if you have a tech problem at that point in the time, you're probably going to end up just getting whatever score you got once the tech issue happened, because I don't accept late work for technological issues, and this is stated in my syllabus. So just make sure you give yourself enough time to complete the exam. All right? I'll be repeating this content next week as the test comes up, but just be aware of the stipulations there and be preparing for that. Okay? The last thing I want to mention before we're done here is that with respects to discussion board responses, I want to encourage you all to dive more deeply into your responses. I am frequently seeing posts where students will simply say, "Hey, great job." They will reiterate what the person said, and that will just be the end of it. Or they will pose a question and not provide any commentary of their own. These discussion board responses are intended to engage in discourse and dialogue, and so you need to do more than just say, "Hey, I agree." You need to do more than just post a question. You need to provide commentary as well and try to take the conversation further. So just be aware of that as well. So if you have any questions this week, please contact me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But that's pretty much all I have for you this week. So with that, go in peace, be warm and filled, may the force be with you, live long and prosper, and may the odds forever be in your favor. All right, guys, have a blessed week.